Hello, welcome back to Happy Apple Core Homestead. Today we're going to be making homemade gummy bears. You can use any kind of juice you want. I am using this elderberry juice. You can use fresh squeezed juice, you can use any kind of juice from the store, and it's up to you what kind of health content you want in your gummy bears. I will be using, sorry about my dog, I will be using a beef gelatin. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to measure out the juice and the gelatin. So for every cup of juice, you will use, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. My dog is so sad. 2 cups of juice. So you can use as much juice as you have gelatin trays. And I have enough trays for the 2 cups of juice. Hold on one moment while I make my dog very happy. 1 second. Okay, Mr. Jake the Doxy Poo is happy now, so we can get back to making gummy bears. You'll pour your juice into a pan. For every cup of juice that you use, you'll use 3 heaping tablespoons of gelatin. So we'll be using 6 for this batch. And you just want to sprinkle it in slowly and pretty evenly over the top. All right, we've got 6 tablespoons of the gelatin and 2 cups of elderberry juice. And we're going to let this bloom. And what that means is basically we're just going to let it sit here for 5 minutes. And it'll kind of swell up. The gelatin will absorb the juice. And then we're going to heat it up. So I'll see you back at the stove. Now that the gelatin has had an opportunity to bloom, it looks like this, and that is completely normal. You're going to turn your heat up to medium. We want this to get heated up, but we do not want it to boil. And hopefully you tasted your juice before putting the gelatin in to see whether or not it needed a sweetener or some lemon juice. Most likely, any store-bought juice is not going to need any addition. A cranberry juice probably would. So we're just going to slowly heat this up until it's nice and warm, and it will change consistency. And after about 2 minutes, you can see that the gelatin has started to dissolve, and it's definitely changing consistency and color. If you're using a whisk, I would use a gentle hand, otherwise you're going to get a ton of bubbles, and like I probably will. You can skim them off. They won't pop in your molds. So if you've got foam when you put them into your molds, you'll have foam when you pop them out. One more thing about sweetening, if you decide that you're using a juice that's just not sweet enough for your taste and you want to use honey rather than sugar, here at our homestead, we don't use any sugar in our food. We use sugar just for the bees. So here we use actually honey for our sweetener. And if you do choose to use honey, you're not going to want to add it in to the mixture until you take it off the heat. That way you're not destroying all of the beneficial health properties of honey. So we're just going to continue to keep an eye on this and gently stir it until all of the gelatin has been dissolved. Again, we do not want this to boil, just to get heated all the way through until the gelatin dissolves. Then I'll meet you back over at the counter to start filling the molds. Alright, well that really only took about 5 minutes for the gelatin to dissolve on about medium heat. It looks beautiful. There is not a layer of scum on the top and not a whole ton of bubbles, and I'm happy with that. And I have lots of different silicone trays, different fruit shapes, gummy worms, gummy bears, and our first set of trays will be these silicone gummy bears, which are just very fun. I made 2 cups of liquid here, and that will fill approximately 6 trays, is my guess, about 6 trays. But we'll see when we're done how accurate I am. If you buy this set online or at your local store, often they're going to come with a dropper, and this is really the way to go as far as ease of filling the trays. And this is all there is to it. You just suck it up in the dropper, and you just fill each of your gummy bear holes. 6 trays have been filled full of the elderberry gelatin mixture, and I'm just going to cover these up and pop them in the fridge. They should be ready to pop out of the molds within an hour or so. So I'll see you back there in just a bit. And we're back. These have actually been in the fridge overnight, but really they were solid within a half an hour. So now all we have to do is, we've got the silicone molds, they're nice and gelled, and all you have to do is just pop them out. And for me, they're going into a jar. I like to store these in the refrigerator. They keep their shape very nicely, and I like my little snacks to be cold. But you can store them in a bag if you want to, or in a jar. And that's it. This is one of the easiest snacks. It's healthy. It'll give your family a little bit of extra fruit in their diet, and it will make you feel like you're eating a piece of candy when really you're not. So the calorie content for this particular beef gelatin is only 35 calories per serving, and every serving is 1 tablespoon. So if you remember, we used 2 cups of liquid and 6 tablespoons of the gelatin. And so if you're only grabbing a couple of pieces, you're basically hardly getting any calories at all. I don't remember the calories in the juice, but for the serving size for that whole bottle that we used was only 2 servings. And so I imagine it would be, pretty similar to any other fruit juice. Maybe 80 calories for an entire serving-ish would be just off the top of my head guess. So like I said, if you're just taking a few pieces at a time, you're not eating all 6 trays at once, you're not getting a whole ton of calories. It will make you feel like you're having a dessert without the guilt. Thank you so much for watching my video. I'll post a couple pictures so you can see some of the up-close definition of these beauties. Okay, happy cooking! Bye!